Hi there, my name is Sandy Alnock and I want to welcome you to day 2 of the 24 Tags of Christmas. This is a 6-video series, and to find out how you can qualify to win one of these tags, just visit day number 1. Today we're going to make a masculine tag, and I'm going to color it in all black and white. So I've got my even numbers of Copic grays, these are cool gray markers, and I've got my image already stamped on Neenah cardstock, and my To and Love that I have on my little moons is from this Our Daily Bread design set. It's the only to and from set I could find in my collection. So the Savvy stamps were stamped in archival ink by accident originally, but I did discover something that I wanted to share with you. If you use these dark gray colors, you can use something like an archival ink. And I wouldn't use it with anything lighter than maybe a C5 or a C4, but you can use it. It doesn't bleed a lot, but it will bleed a little bit and could ruin your nibs on colored markers, so I would only use it really with grays because it's not necessarily Copic friendly, but it seemed to work on this, so I'm just going to put that out there. You can test if you want, but don't come back if your marker nibs get messed up. So I'm making a mask with this 2-inch post-it tape because I want to stamp my trees and have the truck masked out. Oh, goodness, can't even speak. And I want to mask off the bottom so that the trees stop at the horizon line of the snow. And I'm doing 1st and 2nd generation stamping, so I get multiple layers of trees, lighter and darker ones. I can use the same mask for the other 3 tags that I'm making, but I'm not going to put you through watching all 4 tags, just one. I'm starting my sky with the lightest color at the bottom because I want it to be really dark at the top and get lighter toward the bottom side, and I'm just using a C6 marker. I'm trying to get a lot of ink on the paper because I want to blend this sky, and I'm just coloring it and covering it with moisture right now. And then in the next step I'll do some blending because I need it to be wet first. And what I want to do is feather the color. So I want to feather the point out so it doesn't end up in hard lines. So I want more of these like kind of skinny points on each of the strokes. And so I'm taking it all the way down into the tree line and then taking the C6 and going back upward into the sky again. And any of those places in the tree line that don't blend are going to get covered by the snow in a little while, so no worries on that. Now I'm going to color the truck. It's going to be a black truck, and it's only going to have highlights in a few spots because it's deep dark night out there. And I'm just leaving those super highlights on the very top edges of all the things that are pointing up and to the left, which is where the moon is going to be. Coloring in all the other spots on this. Originally I had colored this on Instagram, and I did way more detailed coloring than I'm doing today. I'm trying to keep it a little on the simpler side for this video. Now the glass on the inside, at nighttime it'll be dark. In daytime you might find lighter glass on vehicles, but here I'm just going to use angled lines and try to just blend them with a couple of different colors to create a dark inside to that truck window. So now I'm going to color the undercarriage, the whole bottom section, even adding a little bit to some of the little wheels to add some heft to them, because that one wheel looked like it was a little on the small side for this vehicle. So I'm adjusting that and adding just the deepest, darkest shadows, blending those with the medium tone, and start working toward the C6 again. And then some of those spots that are still really, really super highlight need to be knocked back even further, so I have a little bit less highlight. I just want a tiny, tiny bit of the super white highlight and fill in all of the rest. Now I'm going to take my colorless blender and start working on those headlamps and letting the glow from them come out. I'm going to let it sit for a while, and I'll go back and do it again. And I'm going to create a really dark shadow right under the truck, because the truck is going to be casting the shadow from the moon right across where he's driving. Now when I had posted this sneak peek on Instagram previous to deciding to even do this video, I got a comment from Jennifer McGuire, who was worried that I was putting too much snow out there, and she said make sure that there's not too much snow in the car. So I gave the car a little road. So our truck has a little road to drive out on, and he'll get safely to his destination. So all of you who are afraid for our little truck driver, he's going to be good. So I'm adding a little bit more of the colorless blender so that I get a little more glow around those headlamps. And I did have to clean off my nib because I did touch the nib to that Ranger Archival ink, so it did pick up some of that color. Now the stars in the sky are just done with a Signo pen, of course, my favorite Signo pen. And then I'm going to just draw across the tops of the trees. And I'll zoom in here, you can see a little bit more of what I'm doing. If you follow exactly the lines of those kind of graphical trees, they're not going to look realistic. But if you really go in and kind of make them a little squiggly and make them variegated in thickness so that they're not all the same, they'll look much more realistic. So if you're looking for a really realistic look, this is kind of how to achieve that. And you can also see that it's all so dark now that any of that place right around the truck that didn't get fully stamped, nobody's going to see that, those little spots, because they're going to be so distracted by the snow and the trees and everything else. So the final step is going to be to add a little bit of snow to the wreath on the front of my little truck, and just a little more on the highlights of those headlamps. And I decided I wanted to put a little bit of darkness around the edge of the tag, just in the sky section, just so I didn't have that hard white outline around my tag. So here are the 4 finished ones. They're all slightly different, but design-wise they're all the same. But you can tell the difference really in how the snow comes out. Every single time I drew it, it seemed to just come out completely different, which is perfectly fine because it's art, right? So another tag that you might want to go check out is on Ellen Hudson's The Classroom. She's doing 12 tags of Christmas with a feminine twist. So I did this one using a bunch of Hero Arts products, some texture paste, and glitter. Yes, I used glitter on something. So if you want to go see how I did that, there's a step-by-step photo tutorial over there. And links to everything are going to be in the doobly-doo down below. You can still go back and watch yesterday's video, which is the little fox being painted in the upper left. And if you're watching this later, you can click on any of these videos to get annotations to watch them. And the 24 tags of Christmas, click on that to get to my blog post about this particular video, where you can see still photos of close-ups of each section of the tag and get more information on how I did that and what it looks like. All right, take care. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a really super day.